Coming up live on LiveWire, we've got a great show for you today. If you've never been to it, it's the 34th annual Scandinavian Festival, and you learn about all the Scandinavian countries and enjoy. If you stay on the line here and get a pencil, you can take down the information. You'll see what wonderful food and cultural things that are going to happen at this festival. Then we're going to talk to a couple of people who are filmmakers for the PCS, a place called Sacramento Festival, which is coming up in a month. And they are finishing a film called Regrets of a Dying Man. So stay tuned for LiveWire right after this. Well, with me in the studio are Larina Hannon, and you are with the festival coming up.
Sacramento.
Right?
Yes,
okay,
Sacramento
good.
Scandinavian
Good.
Festival.
Barbara Pato Visual.
Yes.
You are with
Cultural
with the
director for Daughters of Norway.
Daughters
and
of Norway. that's
Also
it.
volunteering with the Scandinavian Festival next
Good,
Saturday.
good. It sounds like I love your costumes. They're really
Thank
wonderful.
you.
They're all kind of,
They're beautiful, aren't they?
yeah, really are beautiful.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. These are from what century would you say?
In Norway, they wanted to have the bunad, we call it a bunad, national costume, in the 1800s, I believe.
Over the 1800s.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
They
started
were
having.
revived.
Really
things.
great.
Yes, they were revived because they like to do dancing,
Uh-huh.
and they
The costumes.
added a lot
in the
to
dance.
it. Yes, they did.
Good, good.
Yeah.
So there's actually a good reason for it, but
Oh,
it's also
yes.
because it's visually a piece of art.
Yes,
Yes.
definitely is.
And I think when Norway got its independence, then it became, people were very proud of it, and they wear this on September Mai, the national day, like their Independence Day, May 17th. Everybody dresses up in these beautiful bunads and costumes and
That's
parades.
great. That's
They
good.
parade up and down the streets, just
They're-
cover the streets with people
That's good.
celebrating.
So, in effect, you'll have a lot of these kinds of costumes at the celebration that's coming up, right?
There will be some.
Yeah.
Not everybody
Yes.
Not
is going to,
everybody.
because they're not something you really want to work in. If
Yeah,
you're,
sure.
celebrating, yes, but working is something else
And
again.
as your purse, you pull all the kroner. Is it kroner
Yes,
for all
kroner
three
in
countries?
Norway
Kroner,
is,
yeah.
You pull your
and
kroner out.
the and the euro in other Scandinavian countries.
Oh yeah, yeah, sure.
Right.
And these are all the kinds of goodies and things you might find when you come to the festival.
Absolutely. There'll be a huge bakery table. All our different groups donate, bake, and provide bakery at the festival. And Lorena, do you want to
Oh, I was going
show
to
them
say
up some?
waffles are great big in Norway,
Uh huh.
and they're really special
Well, look at those
because
heart-shaped
the
waffles.
heart-shaped waffles. And we have
Smells
a
good.
very
Thank
popular.
you.
heart-shaped
Taste it.
waffle iron too.
What?
Yes.
Can I get a heart-shaped waffle iron at the festival? Can I buy one?
If our vendor has some.
Okay, okay. Well, you never know. You got to be careful.
And here's a
Look at
fun
that.
little thing.
So
This is
cute
called.
because-
These are called able skeevers,
Wow.
and those are made in little pans like this. So
Fantastic.
this is a small pan. They're usually a larger pan, but anyway, this was light and easy to carry.
And what are these?
And those are sand buckles or sand tarts. They're really kind of delicate, and that's why I left them in the little tin that you make them in. You push the dough in there.
Let's see. I don't know if you can get that, camera one, but it's kind of interesting. And look, see that? Can you just zoom on in there, Marcus? Take a look. I want to actually eat this.
Have it,
Waffles
yes,
are
yes.
really
I
special.
made them this
in
morning.
Norway. You have them in the afternoon and have tea, and they're just a real special thing.
Well,
Eaten
I
for lunch.
The reason I
was
left
in
these in here is because
Sweden
they-
recently,
they break easily, so that's why you have to be careful with them. But then you just press them in there.
And the Swedish host, I really wanted to thank them. So I said to them, let's go to the supermarket and buy everything that we can to make a real Swedish dinner. They said, okay.
All right. Yes.
And we spent the afternoon making meatballs and everything you can imagine. Lutefisk.
Yes.
We'll have meatballs and a salmon chowder for sale available.
Yeah.
Lots of food that you can eat for lunch, and besides the bakery at the festival next week.
We even have biking on
The festival is next week,
next
right?
week. The
And where's
19th
it
of
going to
August
be? Where's it going to be?
at the Masonic Center up here at 15.
The Scottish Rite Center, Scottish Rite Center
That's gonna
on
be-
H
that's
Street.
near the college.
Yes,
near
it is.
the
State
entrance
University.
to
In fact, if you go to the front
Sac
entrance
State.
of the State University,
That's
you can either turn right or left,
Yeah.
but if you turn one way, you're going into the State University. Turn the other way and you can see
It's on
the Scottish
H
Rite
Street,
Temple.
I believe.
Yeah. That's good.
We
It's
have
a
the
nice
address.
big place.
It's and air conditioned, very
Very nice.
cold.
very cool.
Very cold.
Very cool air conditioning.
Make you feel like you're right up there, right?
Right.
Yes.
Putting on your
And some of our putting on our Sami shoes.
your
It was
shoes
cute.
made from
Reindeer.
reindeer.
skin. Mhm.
Yeah.
Right.
What? You had a red nose?
Oh no.
And we have some Sami.
Oh, you have
outfits
some
here.
other stuff.
This
What
is-
is that?
This is the hat that a man wears,
Now,
and it has a special thing going for it inside there.
where does it go inside? Where does this side go on the
Goes
side
to
or
the
the
back. It goes to the back. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
It's,
Yes.
It's,
And that's
yeah.
very typical of the
That's great.
Sami outfits. Very special.
That, in fact, the smaller doll by the reindeer shoes
Ooh,
are.
look at that.
He is from Sweden, from northern Sweden, in a Sami costume, and there'll be representatives from different Scandinavian countries there, and including the Sami people who. And they'll have a flag.
Yeah.
We're having a march, national anthems played,
Wow.
and the different Scandinavian countries represented: Sweden, Norway, Denmark, the Sami people, and
What happens?
Iceland and Finland.
neat.
Yes, and
That's,
Finland.
that's a woman.
You got some video. Can we have a
That's a
look at
woman.
it?
That'd be great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, okay. This is a
That's a
video
woman's
on
hat.
the.
That's a woman's hat.
Oh,
Well,
well.
We just had to show it to give them God.
Okay.
What they did was they used to put, or they still do.
Their money
They
and
put
things?
no. They put grass up in the top here to keep their head warm. This gives an
Wow.
insulation. And, so
And
cool.
that's insulation. Fantastic. What a good idea.
Very neat.
There's
We do have a vendor that makes these.
other than beauty, there is a kind of use of that.
Oh,
So,
yes, yes.
I can't see, we can't see this B-roll running, but I'm sure it's really wonderful. So we're having it.
We're having.
We call it B-roll here. It means whatever video we have to show you about
Okay.
the festival. So, is there dancing at the festival?
Oh yes, have El Dorado dancers, and they have been practicing, and they're very good.
Uh-huh. Oh, here. Looks like a slide or something. I'm not sure. Is that a part of the festival?
yeah. So this would be the noon at 12 o'clock. There's the parade of flags and people carrying them in national.
And the various flags of the
Costumes.
various Scandinavian nations are
Right,
brought in.
yes.
all of them, they're there.
And the different national anthems are played, and of course also the American
Okay.
flag, an American national anthem. And
Yes.
those are some of our daughters of Norway
Yes.
and dancers.
Oh, the little Viking.
Cute.
Look at that little Viking. Cute. And there's even a Viking boat.
There's a
That will
Viking,
be
float.
there.
a Viking ship.
It's a float
Yes.
and it's floating.
Yes,
Sons of Norway.
and our dollar
Fantastic.
horse.
And that is a symbol
Swedish.
for Sweden,
Swedish
correct?
dollar
We
horse.
got
Yes. They started carving, and they just kept carving and carving and carving it.
I guess
and
so. There's
painting.
one in every
Quite a
Swedish house
busy-
I've ever been
Right.
in.
Yes.
You
Very
gotta have it or you're not. Oh, and what's that? That looks like a dulcimer of sorts.
It could
Yes,
be.
it could be a
I-
fiddle,
I don't
Scandinavian.
think it's a
I'm
fiddle.
not
Maybe
sure.
it's even a nickel harp.
It's a nickel harp. That's what I saw them playing at the.
Oh, it's a nickel. Oh,
It's
that's
a
right.
nickel
That's
harp.
right. Yeah.
Right. The gal was playing it last evening whenever we went
Oh,
to
yeah,
the
look at that.
Crawdad Festival.
Isn't that great?
10 a.m.
Yeah.
to 4
That's
p.m.
a-
at
yeah,
the Scottish
the,
Rites Masonic Center. Check out the food, the art, and the Nordic culture with a Scandinavian fashion show. Witness living history with an authentic Viking camp. Join the fun at the 34th Annual Sacramento Scandinavian Festival. For more information, follow us on Facebook.
Yes.
Sacramento Scandinavian Festival, and boom, it will come up. It's on August 19th, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And what time does it begin?
10 o'clock to 4 o'clock.
Okay. Okay.
Come early for the best selection of bakery and food
Yes, bakery and
and,
food.
and everything.
You might
good.
try a Viking on a stick.
So you don't really have a, what do they call those trucks that come up?
No, we don't have trucks.
I'll have a couple of Scandinavian meatballs. These are
we
really
have-
wonderful. They all look all great. And I love this rose mailing that you've done here.
Oh, thank you.
There will be straw artists, and you touched the straw weaving. This is goat is a very traditional straw animal, and there will be straw artists there that you can make it and take it, or your child can.
Wow.
Something like that, weaving, and they are volunteers, and so they work with the children and adults. And there are also lace makers who are going to be demonstrating their work, and
And we're going to have some demonstrators showing us how to make lefse.
Oh.
This is lefse,
Oh,
the food.
wow.
And the daughters of Norway have made a lot of this.
Do you put stuff in here and then you eat it?
You can eat it just like it is,
Just like
roll
it
it
is.
up. I have some that I made for you that has cinnamon and sugar on butter, and some that's just butter. They're made out of potatoes.
I'll
the
eat it
lefse.
now.
potato
And they're
and
rolled
flour.
with a special rolling
I've
pin.
seen this roller before,
that
but I didn't know
interesting?
what it was for.
Well,
and my wife's grandmother's house.
Yeah.
And I guess she rolled these things out. I didn't know
And
what
you
it was.
roll
for.
that so that you will get the little black specks, the little brown specks show. Otherwise, they don't show up much. They
I
don't
see.
come out. So anyway,
Wonderful, and all this
That's
at
very
the
But this is
34th
good.
annual Scandinavian
Scandinavian Festival.
At the Scottish Rite Center. And we'll have a children's area. Scandinavians traditionally cherish their
Yeah,
children
little Scandinavian children.
very
running around.
highly, yes, and activities for the
Like
children
this.
to do. I believe we have a prim stuff. We're going to make a traditional calendar there, and
this is a
Oh, good.
Uh,
Is there
I
you
don't
say
know if I can
traditional
reach
what?
it's a prim staff. It's called a calendar stick.
it's a
I
calendar
can just
stick.
barely reach it.
Ancient tradition.
I get, okay.
Can you get it?
I got
Okay.
it.
Yeah. That's a,
So we'll be making those, and the children can decorate them, and some other activities, making flags and things like that. And that's just part of
Sweet.
the
they
festival.
needed to know when to plant their crops.
And you
when
can
to
tell by
harvest
this?
it.
Oh,
Yes.
it has various kind of crops on it.
Right.
But then
yes.
over here it has
And
two
also
axes.
has-
What does that mean?
It has symbols of
Okay.
churches and religion and
We'll have the
different
key.
things and things like that.
Yes, yes. Lorena, thank you so much for coming. Thank you, Barbara.
Thank you for
was
having
fun.
us.
And I wish you well at
Enjoyed
the
it.
34th Annual Scandinavian Festival, where you too can learn when to plant your crops. We're going to take a short break right now. We'll be back right after this with some information for you.
My journey skating for the gold taught me a lot, but my journey with breast cancer has been one of my greatest teachers.
Every woman's breast cancer is unique. Be Wiser educates and empowers women to take control of their breast cancer treatment plan and help navigate their own path beyond 5 years.
Talk to your doctor about information and tests to personalize a treatment plan that fits your needs. I did. Be informed, be wiser, support survivors like us.
Gaining weight was easy. All I had to do was sit down and eat. Losing weight's a lot harder. I have to work at it every day. But with every step, I lower my risk for type 2 diabetes and heart disease. And that makes every step, every choice, every day very much worth the effort.
Learn how you can help stop diabetes by losing weight, eating healthy, and staying active. Visit checkupamerica.org or call 1-800-DIABETES.
wow. Well, it's called a place called Sacramento. It's a program that is unlike any other program I know in the state. There are minor versions of it, but this is one where you could actually have a film made that you wrote. 10-minute film. They do 10, and they get something like 110 applications, or an average of that a year, and you can be part of the filmmaking. And that's a very important thing to happen, because what happens is that the film is then done and you see it on the large screen in a big movie house, and you see this work, this piece of art that you put together, a story that you've told in a visual art medium called film. And with me in the studio here are two filmmakers. Graciela Osegueda, I hope I got it kind of right.
Griselda Osegueda.
Close. I watched your lips real carefully. I still can't do it. And Normandy. Normandy, how do you say your last name?
Well, my full name is Normandy Zaris Parker.
Zaris.
Yes,
Yeah,
so Zaris is my middle name.
Yeah. At any rate, my full name is Raymond Joseph August Tatter.
Well, mine is Griselda Garcia Osegueda.
Okay. A lot of vowels flying around in the air. But so you were walking down the street one day and you said, I have an idea for a film, and I'm going to write it up. Is that what happened?
No, that's not what happened. Actually, I was taking classes here at Access Sacramento and learning how to do camera, and they told us about the contest.
And you said, my time has come.
Yes, because I was also taking a class at Consumer River College for script writing. And so
Good. They have a very fine program. That's for, Consumer River have known for a very fine program in radio and television, I know. So this is great. And so you two have made a film. You are the director.
Yes.
And you two have made a film. You had you wrote it, you put it together, you had the idea for it, and the powers that be at Access Sacramento bought into it. And there's a picture up there on the screen. What is that? Are those the main characters?
Yes. Yeah, on the left you have the character Pete, who is played by Taryn McCallan, and then on the right you have Joe Rigdon, who plays basically his mentor Rocky.
Okay. Wow, okay. So it's hard to tell a story that has depth, and it's a drama, right?
Yes.
So it has depth and charm in 10 minutes, isn't it?
Yeah,
It is.
it's 10 minutes, but you'd be amazed at how much you can tell in that time.
Yeah.
And so, like for example, like if you're pitching, let's say for example you're pitching to producers and so forth, you got to be able to tell that story in a log line, which is just one sentence.
Yeah.
So
after this film is completed, you have some shots to take, I'm told.
Yeah, we have some pickup shots. For the most part, we're pretty much done with principal photography, so we just have some pickup shots left. And then we'll
and slap it together and
Yeah.
put it a crawl.
Yeah.
So, but the interesting thing is that then this all comes to fruition on October
7th.
7th at
the Crest Theater.
Crest Theater. Okay, and folks who are listening can actually come and see this film and see you two get up on stage and say, "This is our film," and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Correct, and then there's 9 other winners.
So the title of this piece is called "Regrets of a Dying Man," and there it is, and it's at 7 p.m. on Sunday, October the 7th at the Crest. Okay, and you can Google the CrestSacramento.com or just call Access Sacramento. So this is very exciting for you all, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, it's an exciting project. I mean, having met a lot of different people, from just different places in life, and for everybody to have come together.
Get together.
Yeah, on this particular project.
We have some video slides or some slides of your work while you're working, right?
Yeah.
Can we look at them?
Yeah, of course.
Thanks. Okay, here we go. We're going to watch some slides. This is from Regrets of a Dying Man. Okay. What is this?
So that's a class scene.
That's a classroom scene, actually. So basically,
the character Pete, played by Taryn, he's sitting down, and later on he'd be staring out the window, basically just contemplating life, just wondering what he should do. And so this is a scene in one of his classes.
Kind of like me.
That's also part of that.
And then this right here, well, that's probably me yelling at somebody.
Well, it's important. That's how directors do.
No, we're shooting a scene down a hallway, and that is our dolly, actually, our makeshift dolly on one of the shots, and we're there with Mikey.
Like a shopping market.
Yeah, it's actually
it's one
it's
of
a
those
wagon.
wagons.
So, it's our makeshift dolly,
I love it.
And then this is right where that's the
Rocky and Pete, they kind of get a little bit more closer as Rocky talks more about himself to Pete, and so that's actually an old sack by the Golden Tower.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And those two, we didn't expect to use them, but they came on
That's
board.
That's crew, and then our two main characters. And those are all our production assistants. That's me with sound,
All right.
Donovan. I was checking out the sound.
You took part in some of the work, or you were just listening for the...
Well, I randomly, on and off, as long as I'm not getting kicked off set. So.
Good. I like it.
Here we have Mark.
And who's that guy out there with the...
That's Tom. He was our marker, and then he's with our cinematographer, Sammer. And then Mikey in the white T-shirt is our cameraman. And then you got Donovan Murphy, behind.
Okay. There's an interior shot.
Yeah, that's an interior shot, and that was at a clinic.
And that's David Masso, which is also another one of the main characters for our story.
Yeah, in the blue shirt. Yeah, and then we were fortunate enough to use his house as one of the locations, and so we're grateful for that. So we were able to get a lot done just in that location there. And
that's a picture that I tried to capture of what was going on. One of the scenes from the top.
You took these pictures?
Yes, those. I did all the still photography.
He's our production still photographer as well.
Okay.
That's our makeup artist. That's Dan, and Dan did a wonderful job of making everybody look the part that I needed to tell that story.
Wow. How do you find a local makeup artist in film and TV?
So there was two pieces to it. One piece was Major here, where they did a casting and crew call for us.
Oh, yes.
After they announced that we won the script writing contest.
Yeah.
And then the second piece was finding those that we couldn't find that day. So I had to do Craigslist, Facebook, social media, everything you could think of.
Standing on street corners. Hey, would you like to do a film?
Pretty much.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Well, this is very exciting. You get to see 10 films. Some are comedic and others are dramatic, and I like that idea. I think it's kind of wonderful.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, what happens now? You finish the piece, and is there somebody like a overlord who watches the final cut and says, "I stamp my approval"?
That would be the public.
Oh, that'd be the public.
Oh, I would say that would be the producer.
Yeah, producer.
Well, yeah.
But
yeah, but you go in there for rushes. You look at edited moments together.
Yeah, what I do is because I'm also editing the film.
Yeah.
And as I'm editing it, I follow the script as closely as I possibly could. Same thing as directing the film too. And then, because we have 10 minutes, so I want to make sure, okay, we got to, make sure this story is told in 10 minutes.
We tell the story beginning, middle, and end, right?
Yeah.
And then, and so then what we do is we'll collaborate on certain scenes. Okay, is this relevant to the story? Okay, if it is, let's just keep it in.
Yeah.
If it's not, okay, well, that's going to end up on the cutting room floor.
So the Lord
so to
would
speak.
be I. Yeah, at the end.
I know.
I make the final decision.
I've been in films like that. I once worked a scene over and over and over again. It was about a woman who had a gambling habit, and I was the guy that's just winning all this money, and she's looking at the money, and you could just see in her face. We worked a whole afternoon on it. Never made it in the film.
Wow.
Wow.
They paid me, but
and that's what happens. And I mean, even with this, for example, you know, there are scenes that we shot that's just, we can't use this, you know. So, I mean, it happens. And, you know, obviously we appreciate everybody who is involved and even in those scenes. So, but you never know what you're going to use, how much of it you're going to use, and what's going to end up on the cutting room floor.
Right. So, Regrets of a Dying Man, folks, you can see it, and its initial production or screening, as it were, with you two there in attendance on the
premiere of October 7th.
October 7th.
At the Crest Theater.
Crest Theater. Well, I wish you both, you know, if you like doing this kind of thing, I wish you both, because I know some people from the earlier years of this project, they are still doing films. You know, it might be kind of a fun career.
Oh, yeah, no, we've been doing it for a long time, so this is not our first partnership.
Well, I love film, and I love television as well, and I wish you well both. And we got to say goodbye because it's time to crank out of here, because television, so let's say goodbye. Bye, everyone. See you later. Okay, we'll be back next week with LiveWire. As you well know, LiveWire comes every Wednesday at 5 p.m. and it's live. I'm Ray Tatter, and these wonderful guests are the first of 10 guests that will be talking about their films over the next month. So see you later. Bye. Bye.